This is Fox 21 News at 9.
One person is taken by air ambulance to the hospital, and another 6 are also sent after lightning strikes a sailboat on Lake Superior. Duluth Fire Department officials report 4 people were critically injured, including a 9-year-old boy who needed CPR to restart his heart. The call came in around 5:30 p.m. saying every passenger aboard a 26-foot sailboat was injured by a lightning strike hitting off of Park Point. Under the still threatening weather, the St. Louis County Rescue Squad and other responding agencies scrambled to get patients to emergency vehicles. It is not known if the people on the boat are a family, but all 7 were taken to local hospitals. In Duluth, neighbors in Lincoln Park continue their now almost 2-month struggle with damages caused during the Northland flash flood. After FEMA denied Minnesota's request for individual assistance, optimism that outside relief is coming has all but disappeared. It's a dangerous situation, say some families who need to make expensive fixes to avoid freezing this winter.
So this part, all the way to about here, this used to be my tool room.
Vanessa Turcotte walks through the grime left after floodwater filled her basement, seeping everything in sewage.
This disgusting, whatever you want to call it, I don't even know what it is.
Neighbors say the armed men threatened retaliation after the large brawl. Jacob Kittilstad with tonight's exclusive report.
North of the casino on the Red Cliff Reservation, neighbors say that people from out of town flashed handguns and showed off knives after a fight involving more than 7 people.
And then they all got knives and like, yeah, you guys want to get stabbed? You want to get stabbed up? And we got guns, showing their guns, flashing, pointed at a little kid. Pointing guns at little kids even, just to scare me.
Jacob Kittilstad heading out to tonight's training session. Jake, how are those teams looking out there?
Well, some of the people out there looked a little bit winded, but how about a few numbers? 101 teams are entered in Saturday's races. That's 22 people per boat, so that comes out to 2,222 people competing. And that includes a large and involved team from Lakehead Construction.
Take it away! 1, 2, 3!
Paddle fast enough in a dragon boat, and it'll skim across the water. Finally on Fox, people at Hillfest fill part of downtown Duluth, and tofu litters the ground. That's because of the Tofu Toss, sponsored by the Whole Foods Co-op. Working like an egg toss, the wriggling pieces of bean curd, past their use-by date, might I add, flew through the air like blocky sponges of tasteless mush. It did, however, make for a good time in Hillside. Most people might agree that getting a tattoo is a huge decision. But some of the pieces at Carlton's Tattoo You convention just seems to make people ask, what were you thinking? Enter the category, most unusual. Buzzing with activity, a convention known as Tattoo You takes over part of Black Bear Casino, where artists can swap stories about odd and questionable pieces of work.
We get some pretty crazy stuff. I had one lady that wanted me to tattoo her own footprint, full-sized, on her butt, because she said she needs a good swift kick in the butt once in a while.
And that's where a special category,
I'm entered in most unusual,
comes into play.
My piece is actually a unicorn that's puking into a portal, and he's puking a rainbow, and then on the other leg, the portal opens up and the puke is going onto a kitten.
Just when you think you've seen it all.
Judges, who are well known in the tattooing community, view dozens of the weirder tats. A neck burger, an alien starfish, listing scores following a standard.
Well, we judge it like we judge all the others, with line color, shading. Well, it's real important because not everybody's got roses or a koi fish or a mom tattoo. Some people, think things in a little bit different way.
My tattoo is a hippo with a unicycle.
That can go from the funny,
a lot of people think that it's very hilarious. I've been getting a lot of laughs,
to the just plain awe-striking.
Kim Jong-il, he was the leader of North Korea. It's art. It's not, my beliefs and everything.
For Butterfly, wearing Troy Barnes, if it gets too unusual, like a facial tattoo or others we can't even mention on TV, he makes it a point to give people fair warning.
And that one I went ahead and did, but I made her fill out a whole nother release form that said, I explained to you that this is a terrible idea.
Most judge tattoos here, however, simply give off a kind of charm.
Well, I think that everyone's a little bit unusual in their own ways.
Thousands of people turn out every year to watch training exercises put on by authorities But this year, Fox 21 gets involved as they invited me to step up and play a victim.
You were a North Dakota tourist that hit a deer.
Wow.
And things went higgledy-piggledy from there.
Sounds comfortable. I don't know if you can see this, but I plan to use this oven mitt as a pillow.
From there, we'll transfer you to a longboard.
Then onto a LifeLink helicopter coming out of Rice Lake.
To see a T-bone like this, very common. Car versus deer, very common.
Now, in a very special Fox 21 exclusive, a group of Northland horse rescuers share the story of Tsura, a thoroughbred taken off the racetrack because of an injured knee. But without the help of Gemini Rescue and Duluth's Witch Tree Training Center, rescuers say her life in retirement would have been much shorter, killed for meat and shipped overseas. Viewer discretion is advised. Her name is Tsura, a thoroughbred racehorse with an injured knee. At auction, no one wanted her except Jen Wold.
Come here, Tsura.
Now they meet for the first time.
And to smell them and to, to hear them eating and just be so content. It's an amazing thing. I guess we don't really know what the reason was that she in particular ended up in that auction that night or in the kill pen, but they did. When they run through the auction, these horses don't, they're not given names, they're just anonymous numbers.
Jen, along with a close group of rescuers, say they found Tsura and other horses at the Camelot Auction Company in New Jersey. At each sale, they say, the leftover horses, sometimes as many as 40 of them, get sold off to be killed off.
These horses are loaded onto a semi-truck and they're hauled to Canada or Mexico for slaughter. Their meat is sent over to Europe, and it's a delicacy over there, so they're eaten. There's so many horses that end up just getting thrown away and dumped, and it's such a waste for our society.
And that's where Duluth's Witch Tree Training Center comes in. Kathy Zwaber helped take in the animals after the group decided they had the money and the means for the rescues.
When you have something as specific as, say, the racing industry or certain show disciplines, and when a horse no longer fits that and it's just disposed of, it's like what Jen was talking about, as our society has become a throwaway society.
And she said that the farm where Tsura came from, it was confirmed that she had lost her foal in December. So I was thinking that, okay, we don't have to deal with the foal thing and her being pregnant and having to be shipped across the country.
When they arrived and I was observing them for a little while, I just had a feeling that we might not be dealing with what we had been led to believe.
Then we get this happy news one day that she's pregnant.
Look at you. Come on. It's a boy. It is a beautiful baby boy.
Jen later named him Noah, which is actually Hebrew for motion and movement, but it took on a second meaning pretty quick. He was born within 24 hours of the start of the rainfall of Duluth's great 2012 flood.
I was finishing up chores, coming across the back lawn, and I had heard Tsura lay down because she makes this typical noise. And she was very proud to show her baby, and she had no problem with everybody coming to visit him. Curious, he's well-adjusted.
Now the pair heads off to Gemini Rescue, located in Madison, Minnesota. The group says they know they can't save every horse, but they think it should be the goal, encouraging responsibility with the animals while revealing their character outside of the kill pen.
These horses are living creatures. They feel, they have emotions. They feel pain just like us. Just knowing that, she came from, or what she could have ended up as, and now she's carrying this baby, and it's hope.
I'm looking at something that the odds would have said would never be here. A lot of hopes for him as far as a future. He could do anything.
The rescuers say the initial process of saving the horse costs about $1,000. Coming up next on the news at 9, the Republican Victory Bus arrives in Superior and a golf course with a unique challenge.